Welcome back. Welcome back. We've got, pardon me, a big doubleheader coming up. And it just so happens that we're watching them at the same time, they're starting at the same time. This was not expected. I thought that it'd be a little bit of a crossover with the ladies, but luckily for us, the ladies' matches finished at pretty much the exact same time. So now we can go and watch Flavio Cobolli and Zverev versus Fritz simultaneously. So that's going to be interesting to see how these play out. I don't know what to expect from Cobolli Fery, to be honest. Fritz versus Zverev, I think we all expect 5 sets. You know, one of their epic matches where they played so many times. They know each other so well. They did have a good match in Halle, so hopefully it's something like that. Fery and Cobolli did play in Australia. Cobolli, I think, if I can remember right, wasn't feeling great that day. And Fery got the win. So let's see whether or not that happens again. And Fery obviously playing in front of his home crowd. He's on center court. If Cobolli wasn't playing Fery, Cobolli wouldn't be on center court, that's for sure. It's kind of strange to see that Fritz and Zverev being like the blockbuster that is not on center court. But then again, Sinner didn't play on center court yesterday either. And he is the world number 1, so. All right. But here we go. Let's see what happens because it is going to be a very interesting few hours. And we're just waiting for Fritz and Zverev to enter the court so we can watch them as well. But a busy day. And no World Cup today, which is weird because it's been like on every single time we've streamed. Today's the first day we won't be watching any World Cup at the same time. Why are they doing 2 matches same time today? I feel like I've answered that question about 4 times in the last 2 days. It's not the curfew question. I feel like I'm just on repeat when that's just the way it is. It is what it is. Heartbreaking for Dimmy. Every time I have hope for him, he lost. Look, he's getting on in his career, so, you know, he made the quarterfinals. I mean, it was a great run after what happened last year, you know. Look at the positives. 12 months ago, he was out of this tournament injured, right? All right. Fery and Cobolli warming up. And they will start any moment. Prediction time. Already made prediction videos. Go watch those. I can't remember what I said. Which will happen first? Djokovic too exhausted to win or Sinner's body breakdown? probably Djokovic too exhausted because there's no guarantee that Sinner's body breaks down. There's more likely that Djokovic is exhausted than Sinner. Like, Sinner hasn't broken down yet, so not this week. All right. All right. Last few serves, and then we'll get this party started. I wonder how much Fery has left in the tank. He's played a lot of tennis this week. Do a video with 2 matches on at the same time. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, here we go. Fery's going to serve. The British wild card into the quarterfinals, but can he make the semis? And can he take on Zverev or Fritz in that semi? That is the question. Or can Cobolli make a semi-final of Wimbledon just like he made a semi of Roland Garros and take on Zverev in a rematch of the French Open final? Or Fritz, who I don't know if he's played Fritz yet. I don't know. I'm not sure. Are we doing both matches? Of course we are. We have to because they're both on at the same time. All right, here we go. Who you got, chat? You tell me your predictions. Who have you got? Who have you got? You tell me. I can't remember. I think I said Cobolli in 4. I can't remember. You all know. You watched the video. Right? You all watched the previews. You know what I said. All right, Cobolli versus Fery. Fery wins the first point. 15-love. As Fery serves into the back of Cobolli. Return goes back and slice Fery. Cobolli forehand into the net. 30-love. 30-love. Cobolli in 5, Sasha in 5, okay? Cobolli in a close 3-setter, Zverev in 5. All right. 30-love Fery. I mean, look, there's a very good chance that they both go 5 sets. There's a legitimate chance of that. As we're serving to the front of Cobolli. Cobolli in the net. It's 40-love. Love. As we return the net by Cobolli, and it's a let. Okay. Let from Fery. And then he serves a fault. Second serve. As the return goes to forehand of Fery. 4 now from Cobolli. Fery backhand. Again to the forehand of Cobolli. Drop shot is nice by Cobolli, but Fery gets with a slice backhand wide. Just went wide. 40-15. Fery looks cool, calm, and collected. He does, doesn't he? Definitely not in awe of the moment. As the backhand goes in the net by Fery, 40-30. Are you going to watch the Zverev match as well? Yeah. They haven't come out on court yet, so we'll start that soon. No disrespect to Fery, but if Shelton hadn't lost, he wouldn't be here. I agree. Shelton would have been... Well, Shelton should have been. Let's not say would have, because who knows? Shelton could have lost to somebody else. Fery could have beaten Shelton. But I agree. I think this was Shelton's section. The reason Fery's here is because Shelton's not. Shelton losing paved the way for Fery to get this far. Because, I had Shelton in the semis against Fritz. And remember, Fery beat the guy who beat Shelton. All right. First game for Fery. And Cobolli to serve. It's weird seeing Cobolli in a hat. Serving to the back end of Fery. 4-0 from Cobolli in the nets. What's my opinion on Fery? I haven't watched him, so this is my first time watching Fery in the flesh, so I will give you an opinion when I watched him play. Love 15. As he serves an ace, Cobolli. 15-0. Serve again. Into the slice of Fery. 4-0 from Cobolli. Again to the backhand of Fery. It's Cobolli backhand. Into the backhand of Fery. Cobolli backhand pass. Fery with a volley. Goes wide. And it's 30-15. Nice hitting from Cobolli. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. We've got big doubleheader going on. Of course, these matches play each other in the semis on Friday. We've already got one semi-final with Djokovic and Sinner. But Cobolli and Fery have just kicked off. We've got Fritz versus Zverev coming on in a second as well. 40-15 Cobolli. All right, 40-15. As the return goes in the forehand of Cobolli. Cobolli shanks it. And it's 40-30. $40-30. $40-30. Noskova might take the whole thing. Yeah, she could. Definitely could. All right, nice serving. Cobolli holds, and it's 1-all. All right, Fritz wearing his suit. And Zverev wearing his jacket. It's a normal jacket. Okay. By the way, I think Anna Winter's in the house in the royal box, which means we can cross her name off as well. Hang on, let me just... we have to cross the Royal Box names off first. Haven't done that yet. So we've got a Royal family member and Anna Winter's in there too. So there you go. Cool. We're still nowhere close to bingo, but fine. It's fine. We still got... we're getting closer. We just need Ed Sheeran to rock up and then we'll be great. It's not terrible for bingo. We're doing okay. Doing okay. All right, 30 love. Fery serves a fault, second serve. It could be worse. As that goes out by Cobolli, 30-15. You know what? We might get bingo. We haven't changed any of the names. So we haven't gotten any of the names that have changed. So the original card still stands. We just need Idris Elba, Ed Sheeran to make an appearance. Or Virat Kohli and Adele. We're getting close. We're getting close. Anyways, forehand volley from Fery is in the net and it's 30-0. Oh, no, sorry. That was Cobolli. They're wearing the same outfits. 40-15. Cobolli hits in the net. Fery, 40-15. Have I ever watched... Did I get to watch He-Man? No, I didn't. It was a shame. I heard it was funny. But I didn't get to watch... didn't get to go to the cinema to watch that. All right. 40-15. There's a slice in the net from Cobolli and Fery holds 2-1. Zverev and Fritz are on the court. I'll tell you, I'd be interested to see which one of these two matches finish first. All right, 2-1 Fery. And Fery looks like he's already breathing very heavily. This is already taking a toll. All right. Zverev and Fritz are warming up. All right, Cobolli serves again. We get a fault from Cobolli, second serve. And the return goes forehand of Fery and then, Cobolli, and then Fery puts it away. Love 15. Serve out wide the backhand of Fery. Cobolli forehand to the front of Fery. Is drop shot from Cobolli's good, but Fery's quick. And hits a slice, and then an easy volley winner. Fery. Love 30. Love 30. What do I think of this off the World Cup? I don't know what he's saying. What do you mean? I love 30. Fery, a chance to get the break. A fault from Cobolli, second serve. There's a backhand return, goes backhand of Cobolli, forehand from Fery. Into the backhand of Cobolli, it's Fery backhand. Into the forehand of Cobolli again. Fery up the line. Cobolli gets it back with the backhand. Fery backhand in the nets. And it's 15-30. All right. Fritz is going to serve first against Zverev. Even though Fritz has won the last 7, it's a 50-50 apparently. So we'll see. I mean, Zverev has been playing really well. What do I think of the World Cup? Yeah, it's been good. I love the World Cup. It's so much fun. 30-year Cobolli. Serve again. Into the forehand of Fery. Cobolli forehand in the backhand of Fery. Fery in the nets. 40-30. As Cobolli serves again. Into the backhand of Fery. Fery in the net. Cobolli holds. Tough hold. 2-2. Two all. All right, back to Fery. RG finalists are going to play Roland Garros semis. Maybe. They could. There's a forehand out of the backhand of Cobolli. And then Fery with a bounce smash. Puts it away. 15-love. Cobolli's overrated and very weak. Yeah, you said that already. And that's untrue. He is not overrated. Made a final of the Grand Slam already last month. He's a very solid player. Backhand rally. As that goes out by Fery, and it's 15-0. It's packed on Hemman Hill. It's called Mount Everest. All right? Make sure you get that right. Mount Everest. Everest. Right? Make sure you all say that correctly. Mount Everest. Don't want anyone getting confused with calling it something else. 15-0. That goes in the net from Cobolli. All right, here we go, chap. Top 10 clash. As the first point goes to Fritz. He's serving first. 15-love. Zverev's worst nightmare. Sleep paralysis demon. And then on the grass, even worse. For Zverev. It's his worst nightmare. As Fritz serves an ace-7 30-love. I feel like Fritz versus Zverev could go 5 and finish before a 4-set match between Cobolli and Fery. I don't know. I feel like if we're going 5, we're probably going 5 on both courts, let's be honest. But I feel like Fritz Zverev is going to be at 5 sets, 3 hours. I don't think we're playing a long 5 setup. No 5 hours, midnight ends, all that kind of stuff. None of that. 40-love, Fritz with a second serve ace, because he can. Serve. Here's a fault, second serve. As the return goes out by Zverev. No, it went in apparently. Hawkeye lied. It's Henman Hill forever? Never. It's Mount Everest. They're redeveloping it, so it's going to be Mount Everest. All right. Nice return of 0, 40-15. And 40-30. 40-30. As the return goes the forehand of Fery. Backhand Cobolli to the backhand of Fery. And it's Cobolli backhand again to the forehand of Fery. Cobolli forehand of the stretch. Fery again to the backhand of Cobolli. Fery doing all the work here as Cobolli running side to side and eventually misses. 3-2. Lovely from Fery. And he takes the lead. 3-2. Okay. One love Fritz in this first set. All right, one love Fritz. Zverev serves the backhand of Fritz. Return to the front of Zverev. Fritz backhand, cross court. Zverev gets it into the backhand of Fritz. Zverev backhand again to the backhand of Fritz. Up the line of the front of Zverev, and Zverev hits it in. Lovely shot. 15 love. Hey, thank you, Human, for becoming a member again. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around. They need Henman Hill statue. No, see, it needs to be, if they're going to put a statue at Wimbledon, it's going to be Murray. Because Henman never won. Murray won. You can't put a statue of a guy who made the semis. Come on. It's got to be a Murray statue. And then call it Mount Everest. 30 love. It's Mount Everest, all right? 2026. The name gets updated every time. When you retire, you lose the name of the patch of grass, all right? The grass gets updated with active players, all right? And Drape hasn't been playing, so it's Mount Everest. After Emma Raducanu, British Grand Slam champion. 4-4 in rallies. It goes up the line. The backhand of Cobolli. Fery backhand into the backhand of Cobolli again. It's Fery with a forehand. Cobolli on the attack. Fery pass. Volley from Cobolli in the net. It's love 15. Oh, Zverev's in trouble. 30-all. 30-all. Let the man have his hill. No. 30-all. He had the hill for 15 years. All right, backhand goes wide by Zverev. And Fritz has already got a break point. 30-40. 30-40. Well, Fery's now the champion at the moment. So what's it called? Fery's... I don't know. Fery's Field? Is that what it is? Fery's Field? What are we calling it? As it a backhand down the line from Zverev is a winner, and it's deuce. All right, 30-15, Cobolli. Would you rather have a hill named after you or a Grand Slam? Obviously a Grand Slam. I'd rather have my name on a trophy than people naming a hill. All right. We get the deuce. Zverev serves a fault. Second serve. It's called Arthur Seed, apparently. That's lame. All right. Cobolli holds, and it's 3-all. 3-all in the first set. Zverev, double fault advantage for Fritz. Advantage Fritz to take the early break here. All right, advantage Fritz. Zverev serves. Served on the tee. Fritz hits it wide. Great serve, Zverev. Deuce. I love 15 for Cobolli. Love 15. Is it a backhand rally? Fery into the backhand of Cobolli. It's Fery backhand. It goes wide. Love 30, Cobolli. All right, advantage Zverev to get on the board. All right, advantage Zverev as he serves the forehand of Fritz. Fritz shanks it wide. It's 1-1. 1-1. What was it called before Henman Hill? Who was the guy? Who was before Henman? Who was the British hope before Henman? Some of y'all must remember that. All right, love 30. As a lob goes over the top of Fery, then he puts up a lob. Cobolli's going to hit a smash from the baseline. Fery's back in the rally with a slice. Cobolli in control of the rally and hits it in the net. 15-30. Good hustle by Fery. I don't think Fred Perry was the last person before Henman. That's like, there was definitely players between Fred Perry and Tim Henman. You're talking about 1940s Fred Perry, and then there was what? There was no British players for 60 years? Come on now. There must have been someone in the 80s that was British that played. They would have gotten wild cards every single year, at least. Come on, there must have been a British hope. That's on the men's side. I know there was Virginia Wade, but come on. Can't be going, oh yeah, Fred Perry, and then no one for 60 years. Could be somebody. As Cobolli hits it wide, it's 30-0. Fery trying to stay in front. Jeremy Bates, was he the last? Was he the one before? Was he the hope before Henman? All right, 15-30. Fritz in a little trouble here. John Lloyd and Jeremy Bates. Okay. See, I'm not up to date with tennis, with British tennis law. So you got to help me. I know Henman, and I know all the British, like Andy Murray stuff, but I don't know pre-90s British law, tennis law. As that goes the net by Fritz. Uh-oh. Break points for Zverev. 15-40. And break point for Cobolli. 30-40. It was always called the Hill until Henman came along. Okay. All right. Nice hitting from Cobolli. And a nice serve down the tee from Fritz. Return goes in, though, and then Fritz hits a backhand. It's in. Whoa. That was close. That was close. That was very close. Fritz survives. 30-40. Almost hit it wide. All right. 30-40, backhand up the line. Into the forehand of Fritz. Forehand from Zverev. The forehand of Fritz up the line. To the backhand of Zverev. Sliced. Is it a backhand again from Fritz? Zverev backhand again to the backhand of Fritz. Zverev with his backhand to the forehand of Fritz. Zverev goes again to the backhand of Fritz. Zverev with the forehand slice. Fritz in control. Backhand cross court. Zverev slices it back. Fritz comes to the net, but hits a drop shot in the net. And Zverev breaks first. 2-1. 2-1 Zverev. Okay. Advantage Fery, by the way, as he hits a lovely backhand up the line. And Fery holds 4-3. 4-3. All right. The British player who preceded Tim Henman as top ranked was Jeremy Bates, who was the British number one in the early 90s. I think I saw a documentary on him. Andrew Castle, who is a BBC tennis pundit. Was he... I'll tell you what I did notice, chat, while I was doing some research. Back in the... Because I was doing some research on wildcards, because I was bored. Apparently, Mark Petchey, back in the 90s, received 9 wildcards out of 11 years. And the 2 years that he didn't need them, he was in the top 100. He got 9 wildcards. Mark Petchey, the guy who's on TV, right? You know Mark Petchey, right? He's on Tennis Channel, right? He got 9 wildcards for Wimbledon. And then he didn't need them when in the mid 90s he didn't need them because he was in the top 100. But he got 9. He got so many wild cards. I want to know how. And before that, I'm looking here. Bates was before that in the 80s. Bates got a lot of wild cards, probably. And then Lloyd got a lot of wild cards as well. But who was Wilkinson? Because there was a guy called Wilkinson who got 9 wild cards in a row at Wimbledon back in the 90s. They were really trying to push him. Who was Wilkinson? He was getting a lot of wild cards. Also, Delgado, he got a lot of wild cards in the early 2000s. British wild cards. But who was Wilkinson back in the 90s? Was he somebody that were trying to pump up as the next great hope? Or was he just some random guy that just kept getting wild cards? Chris Wilkinson, yeah. Was he like the Andy Murray, like they were pumping him up like Andy Murray, or was he just like very fortunate that he kept getting wild cards and he was like, because he was getting he got 9 wild cards in a row, which tells me that he didn't make the top 100 for 9 years in a row. And had to get help by Wimbledon for 9 years in a row, 9 wildcards. That's a commitment. That is a commitment from the tournament. They really were trying to give him a chance, and he unfortunately just couldn't. Well, I don't know if he didn't take it. I don't know. Did anyone remember him? All right, 40-15 on both courts. Cobolli serving the forehand of Fery, and Fery hits it wide. Cobolli shanks it wide, 40-30. By the way, this is actually, if for those who don't know, this is Fery's 4th wild card in a row at Wimbledon. So he got wild cards from 2023 to now, and of course now he's gone on this run. But yeah, it's his 4th wild card at the championships. He might not need one next year because he'll be in the top 100, I think, after this. So he won't need one next year because his ranking will probably get him through unless he's not in the top 100. Where is he? Is he not in the top 100? He has to be top 100. No? Yeah, he's number 63. All right, 3-1 Zverev. Yeah, so next year, so now after this, I mean, and this is the thing, right? When we talk about wild cards, we give them to Serena, we give them to Dimitrov, Wawrinka, right? All these players that need, rankings aren't good enough, but the tournament is better to have them, right? But then you give it to a young local. And I know Fery's not young, I think he's sort of mid-20s, but a local. And this is why you give it to a local, to have one of these runs, right? To see one of these fairy tales, no pun intended, right? And now, thanks to this wild card, just like, and I'll say with Eala, when she got the wild card for Miami, that catapulted her into where she is now, right? It started with the wild card in Miami. She had wild cards before that, but she couldn't capitalize. But before that Miami wild card that Eala had, She was more of a challenger level player. She was playing at challengers. She was grinding the circuit. But she gets that wild card. She gets to the semis, and then her ranking follows that result. So that's what wild cards hopefully do for the young players, right? The unknown players, is that you give them a wild card, they get to a quarterfinal, they gain a lot of points, they inspire a nation, and then you get in the top 100 and you don't need a wild card next time. So Fery now will play the US Open, the Australian Open, and the French Open, and next year's Wimbledon, not needing any wild cards. He won't even have to play qualies. He'll get in straight away. So that's the benefit of, the chance that they've given him, it's paid off, right? For him and for the tournament, because let's be honest, as soon as Draper and Raducanu pulled out, and when they didn't give Evans a wild card, we all thought, well, and then British players on day 1 and 2 were just getting murdered, right? They were just getting absolutely slaughtered. Fery has given the nation some hope. And even if he doesn't win today, he's inspired. He's at least, it's always good when the local does well, right? When Australians do well in the Australian Open, when the French do well at France. I mean, remember Kwame, he did great at the French in the first couple of days, and everyone was going nuts. When Americans do well, but they always do well at the US because there's so many of them. It's the Australians and the British that need help. We need help. But, yeah. All right. 5-4. Fery comes back from a little bit of a deficit, but he's up 5-4 now. And Zverev's got the lead 3-2 with a break. Richard Krajicek is in the front row, former champion of this event back in the 90s when Sampras dominated. He stole one. I think he was one of the only players to steal a Wimbledon off Pete. All right, Cobolli serving to stay in the set. As we just slice into the backhand of Cobolli, forehand from Fery into the forehand of Cobolli. Cobolli hits it out, love 15. Love 15. As Cobolli serves again. And the backhand return goes into the forehand of Cobolli. Fery with a slice on the stretch. Cobolli comes to the net. Fery with a pass off the tape. Cobolli hits it back in, and then Fery with a pass, and then Cobolli volleys it away. Cobolli got lucky that time. 15-0. He got a little fortunate there, Cobolli. 15-0. That was a bit of luck off the tape there. 15-0. All right, 15 love for Zverev as he tries to consolidate the break. All right, 15-0. Zverev with 30 love. Nice ace from Zverev. All right, 15-0. That goes out by Fery. 30-15. $30.15. Hey, Horror Critic, thank you for the 37 months. Appreciate that. Thanks for sticking around. All right, 30-15 on both courts. As we just serve from Cobolli in the back of the Fery, but it's a let. Cobolli serves a fault second serve. As Zverev with a great serve, 40-15. As Cobolli serves a let again. Backhand return goes in the forehand of Cobolli. Forehand now from Fery. Again, the forehand of Cobolli is Fery forehand up the line. Cobolli with a slice in the net. It's 30-all. Chance for Fery to maybe steal this set here. 30-all. There's a backhand return. Goes out by Fritz, and it's 4-2 Zverev in the first set here. 4-2 Zverev. How many lets are allowed? As many as you need. You can hit 100 lets if you need them, if you can, or if you can. You can hit 1 million lets. Unlimited lets. Unlimited lets. All right, 30-40, breakpoint Fery to get it done. To take this first set, and the crowd love it. They're not on their feet because they're stuck to their chairs because they're melted into the chairs. It's too hot out there. All right, 30-40. As Cobolli serves again. He serves a fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the back of Fery. Return goes for Cobolli. Cobolli hits it wide. Fery takes the first. 6-4. He steals it. First set in the bag for Fery. The locals love it. AKA the whole stadium because they're all from the UK. Most of them. All right. First set to Fery. All right. 40-15 for Fritz. 40-15 by the way. First set, not very pretty from Cobolli. 8 winners, 16 errors. Ugh. 16 errors. Only the 2 break points, and the 1 break point Fery took was the set point. So Fery had 1 chance, 1 opportunity, and he didn't let it slip. Mum spaghetti. Not an Italian reference. All right. Fritz holds 4-3. Zverev with the break, though, in this first set. All right. All right. But Fery getting the crowd going. It's coming home, or, I mean, it's already there. It's Wimbledon. It's in England. All right. All right. All right. Zverev 4-3 with the break. All right. Here we go. Let's see what Zverev can do here. He's got the early break. Let's see if he can keep it. Came home a while ago. Yeah, never left. Never left. Wimbledon was always in Wimbledon. Or always. The British Championships were always in the UK. All right. 15 love, Zverev. What a lovely shot by Cobolli. Love 30. Beautiful pass up the line. Love 30. Cobolli wants an early break here. And 15 love for Zverev. As with a backhand from Zverev to the backhand of Fritz. Backhand Zverev again. The forehand of Fritz. Into the backhand of Zverev. As Fritz backhand again up the line. Fritz hits it long. Zverev 30 love. All right, 30 love. That's Fery double faults. Love 40. Cobolli. They're just now down the tee, the back of Fritz. Very able to pick up in the net. And it's 30-15. Nice return from Fritz. By the way, to all those people that are saying that Fritz is not ready for this Zverev. Fritz beat this Zverev. He beat post Roland Garros Zverev last 2 weeks ago. He beat him in 3. So everybody's like, oh, well, Zverev's different now. Yeah, and Fritz played him in Halle and beat him in 3. He's played this guy. He knows this guy. So he has. What do you mean? He played Zverev literally 2 weeks after he won the French and beat him as well. Still beat him. As Zverev double faults, 30-all. All. And Zverev serves again. All right, Cobolli got the break, by the way. 1 love. All right, so it goes out by Fritz on the return. Nice serve, Zverev. 40-30. It would be kind of weird if Zverev made the final of Wimbledon, right? Zverev in the final of Wimbledon was not on my card for this year. I thought, yeah, Roland Garros, maybe US Open. Wimbledon? Wimbledon finalist Sasha Zverev? Which means he's made the final of every slam? Not what I was thinking. It would be cool, but I'm very surprising. 40-30. If Zverev is in the final, I'd want him to play Djokovic. I think Djokovic-Zverev final would be really interesting. Would be more interesting than Sinner versus Zverev. But then again, post-slam Zverev might be, post-Sasha slam Sasha maybe might be, maybe he is different against Sinner. Is it going to be hot on Sunday? Let me know. Is it going to be hot on Sunday? Because then that might play a little bit of a factor. All right. Fritz serving to stay in the set. Backhand goes in the net by Fritz. Love 15. It's only been 1 break. Zverev's kept his serve. That's made the difference. 30-15 for Cobolli here. As we get a backhand now from Fery. Into the back of Cobolli. Up the line of the forehand of Fery. As Cobolli forehand up the line. That's a great shot. 40-15. Cobolli starting to settle in now as Fritz hits a good serve. It's 15-all. It's going to be 30? Okay. All right, serving to the forehand is Zverev. Zverev hits it out. 30-15. Fritz. 30-15. As Cobolli holds, 2 love. All right, backhand return goes in the net by Zverev, 40-15. Ugh, why am I so tired today? All right, Fery trying to get on the board. Zverev hits backhand to the forehand of Fritz. Zverev backhand to the backhand of Fritz. Into the slice of Zverev. Fritz with a forehand. Is a winner. All right, Zverev's going to have to serve for the set. 5-4. 5-4. Zverev and Kostyuk showing everyone how to make a deep run of the Challenge Slam. Yeah, but that makes me think. Is Wimbledon slow? Has Wimbledon gotten to the point where it's slow now that the French Open clay quarters can do really well? Like, maybe it doesn't mean anything, but like, has Wimbledon gotten too slow then? Is it getting too similar to the French? Like, is it, like, I don't think Roland Garros is getting faster, but is Wimbledon slowed down that it gives players an opportunity like that? Is grass not, it's not supposed to be the same as the French. We're not supposed to have the same players. It's supposed to be a totally different lot of players. We'll have to wonder, we'll have to do some research. After the tournament, obviously. But like having Kostyuk, and look, it's not like Kostyuk and Zverev don't have a game for grass, but like going to Wimbledon and playing after Roland Garros, is it a little easier these days? Is it easier to get to like transition onto the grass? I mean, and look at Cobolli too, right? Cobolli made the French Open final, and now he is into a quarterfinal of Wimbledon. You're like, okay, why are we seeing a lot of the same names? Obviously, we'll see Sinner and Djokovic and Alcaraz, right? We're used to that, but then again, Andreeva lost, right? Felinska lost, but she obviously was a bit of a wild card anyway, random, to get into the French Open final, let alone Wimbledon. I don't know. Something to think about when the tournament's said and done, and we'll see if the French Open lineup looks similar. Because I'm sure that back in the day, it never looked like that. It was always 4 totally different players going from Roland Garros to Wimbledon. And I'm not saying back in the day, I'm saying 90s, right? I'm not saying like, oh, back in the 2010s. No, because they was the same guys every time. All right, 15 love. Because if that is the case, right, if there is proof, right, proof that Wimbledon is now slow enough that the French Open players that do well at the French can win Wimbledon, then it kind of devalues the Channel Slam, right? Like the Channel Slam doesn't become as impressive. Yes, it's still impressive, but if it's not as impressive as like Borg doing it, right? If it's a little bit easier because it's easier to like make that switch, it might, it's still a very impressive feat and it's very hard to do, but it might be a little easier than it was, 20, 30, 40 years ago. All right, Zverev. 15-0. All right. As Fritz, 15-30 here, chance to possibly get back on serve as we have a 4 now from Fritz on the stretch. Deep into the back of Zverev. Fritz with the backhand. Again to the back of Zverev. Into the backhand of Fritz. As Zverev backhand again to the forehand of Fritz. Into the backhand of Zverev. As Fritz gets the break points. Zverev overhits it. 15-40. All right. 15-40 Fritz. As Zverev serves. Nice. One saved. 30-40. Cobolli's got the break in the second. 30-15. As Cobolli double faults, 30-all. All right, 30-40, still break point for Fritz to get back on serve. As a return now from Fritz, goes long, and Zverev survives with a couple of serves. Deuce. We get to deuce. Advantage Zverev. Set point to take the first set. And breakback point for Fery to get back on serve. All right, serve again from Zverev. There's a fault second serve. As Cobolli with a forehand going into the forehand of Fery. What a shot by Fery. Fery breaks back. We got 2-0 in the second. Great aggression from Fery. All right, advantage Zverev to take the first set here. Zverev with the serve. Into the forehand of Fritz. Fritz in the net. There it is. Zverev takes the first 6-4. Only one break, but that's all you need when you've got Zverev and Fritz serving. The one break is all that it takes. All right. 6-4. All right. Cobolli's back on serve. He's given back the break as we get a forehand now from Fery. Into the backhand of Cobolli. Fery with the backhand again, the backhand of Cobolli. Into the backhand of Fery, but that goes out by Cobolli, and it's 15-love. All right, 4 break points for Fritz. Only 2 for Zverev, and Zverev broke. Fritz didn't. 12 winners, 7 errors from Zverev. 8 aces as well. 82% of first serves in. Zverev is serving amazing, and that's why he couldn't be broken. And Fritz, he could be serving better. He's only serving 54% of first serves in. And 4 aces, but yeah, Zverev is serving at a ridiculously good rate, which is credit to Fritz for getting some break points to get back on serve. But yeah, Zverev is serving so well, didn't give Fritz a chance. But I'm sure Fritz won't be bothered by that because he knows that he can beat Zverev, and he's done from 2 sets to love down here. So he knows he can come back from a deficit against Zverev. He's done it many a time. As Fery hits it in the net on the slice, and it's 15-all. 15-all. All right, serve again from Fery. As the return goes to forehand to Fery. Drop shot is really good by Fery. Beautiful shot. 30-15. Such a smart shot. All right. Fritz serving first in the second. 15-love. All right. As Fery serves a fault. Second serve. What's my quarterfinal predictions for the World Cup? I don't know. Why are you asking me? As with a forehand in the net by Fery. 30-all. Big chance for Cobolli to get back the break again. Get the break again. As with a backhand from Fritz into the forehand is Zverev. Fritz with the forehand is long. 15-all. All right, 30-all. As Fery comes to the net, up goes a lob by Cobolli. Fery with a smash. Cobolli gets it back with a forehand up the line to the backhand of Fery. Drop shot is good. Cobolli gets it. Volley from Fery is too good. And it's 40-30 Fery to get the lead. Yeah, England is my prediction. Go England. It's coming home. All right, Fery. Oh, sorry, Fritz. 30-0. He's in trouble here. 30-0. That's a bit of serve from Fritz. There's a fault. Second serve. That's Cobolli. Tries to go for a winner. Completely misses. And it's 3-2. 3-2 Fery. Cobolli complaining about the sun. Okay. 30-0 here. It's Fritz serving. First game of the second. As the return goes in the forehand of Fritz, backhand out from Zverev. It's Fritz backhand again, the backhand Zverev. Up the line to the forehand of Fritz. Zverev. Forehand up the line is a winner. Beautiful shot, Zverev. 30-40. Zverev came to play. Great shot. I'm hoping to watch Norway versus England in Miami bar. If I recover from a head cold. Yeah, I can't wait to watch that. But I'll probably be... Oh, no, I'll be after... When is that? All right, deuce. As Fritz goes to the back of Zverev. Zverev in the net. Advantage Fritz. Advantage Fritz. Even if Fery wins, can he beat the next guy? No, but it's good for British business. Why does everyone do that? Why do people do that? Why do people do that? Why do you do that? Who cares? Can he beat the next guy? Who cares? He's winning now. Like, this is impressive now. Like, who cares? Can Fery win the semis? Shut up. Let the people have their win, all right? Let them enjoy it. Some idiot was saying that the other day. I don't know who it was. It was like, oh, Cam, if you beat Egypt, you're going to lose to Argentina. So? If we beat Egypt, we would have had a great time. Who gives a stuff about the next match? If Fery wins, let the people enjoy. And that forehand goes wide by Cobolli, 15-0. As with a forehand from Fritz in the forehand, Zverev. Fritz just trying to get off to a better start, and he does. One love, Fritz, in the second. As with a backhand rally. Up the line of the forehand of Fery. Forehand from Cobolli. Again to the forehand of Fery. Fery missed it. 30-15. All right, 15-30 for Fery. Wait, hang on, what? Fery 15-30, how'd that happen? What'd I miss? Why is the tournament director out on court? Not going to close the roof, are they? 15-30. Serve. Into the forehand of Fery. Fery hits it wide. Okay. Cobolli's in the bottom of the... Okay. They're both wearing hats. God, I can't wait till Wimbledon's over so I don't get confused. 30-0. all as Cobolli serves. A fault. As a return goes out by Fery, and it's 40-30 Cobolli. As Zverev comes in with a forehand, Fritz to the pass. Oh, it goes long. 30 love. Tell you, Zverev is serving very, very well today. Who's my pick? I picked Cobolli in 4 and Fritz in 5, I think. I think that's what I picked. How do I feel about Coco Gauff? We love Coco Gauff. She's awesome. 40-30 Cobolli. As Fery returns back in Cobolli. Cobolli goes wide. And it's deuce. As Zverev with another good serve. Here comes the net. Fritz with the pass. That's a winner. 30-15. I tell you, Zverev is kind of serve botting at the moment. Deuce as Cobolli serves. And ace down the tee. All right, advantage Cobolli. Advantage Cobolli. As we serve again from Zverev. A fault, second serve. All right, Cobolli serves another ace. And he levels at 3-3. As Zverev serves. Into the backhand of Fritz. Return the backhand of Zverev. Fritz. Backhand to backhand with Zverev. Now Zverev up the line to the corner. Fritz on the stretch. Fritz in the net. 40-15. And Zverev just going for it a little more than Fritz. 40-15. All right, serve again. Into the backhand of Fritz. Fritz in the net, and Zverev holds. 1-1. Again, Zverev unbreakable at the moment. 1-1. All right, 3-3 here as Fery comes to the net. Cobolli passing shot wide. All right, 15 love. As a return goes to the front of Fery. 4 now from Cobolli. As Fery goes up the line at the back of Cobolli. Fery now hits a backhand into the slice of Cobolli. Into the front of Fery as Cobolli then hits it in the net. 30-15. Uh, 30 love. As Zverev with the slice goes long. No, it goes in. Fritz gets it back. Slice from Zverev again as Fritz into the front of Zverev. To the front of Fritz. As Zverev with the backhand cross court goes wide this time. It's 30 love Fritz. As we get to 40 love for Fery. Fery plays very quick service games too. He does not muck about. Great serve down the tee, Fery. All right, 4-3 Fery in the second. Cobolli's got to be real careful. I bet Mertens is a loser. Yeah, but you lost your bet, so I mean, you're the loser, right? Because you lost. She lost, but you also lost, so you're both kind of losers. But she lost. But she also walked away with prize money, so she kind of lost the match, but didn't lose financially. Whereas you didn't even play, but you lost financially, and you didn't even you got zero gain. At least she got to the quarters of Wimbledon. What have you done? You know. Anyways, trainer's out on call for Fritz, and that's not good. He's pointing. Is he talking about his knee? No, he's not talking about anything. He's just kind of talking. He's not really pointing at anything, but no, he's pointing his knee. He's pointing his right knee. The right knee. I don't know which knee was. I don't know which if his right knee was the one that was giving him problems the last couple of months, but he's just asking the trainer what can we do? it doesn't seem like it's bad enough that he can't play. He's obviously hasn't looked like he's not played well. But he might need. I mean, if they strap it up, it's going to restrict movement, right? But if they do nothing, then what? All right, trainers are out for Fritz. All right, 15 left. Cobolli. He's in real big trouble because that's a great winner by Fery. 15-0. Hey, Joe Root's in the house. A very good cricketer. Not as good as Steve Smith, but pretty good. He's all right. All right. So they're just working on Fritz's knee. Not much. I mean, there's not much you can do, right? I mean, if you've got a knee problem, you either tape it up or you you try and loosen it up, I guess, but anyway, it's 15-0 as that goes into the forehand of Cobolli. Fery backhand to the forehand of Cobolli as Fery forehand again to the back of Cobolli. Fery again with a forehand. Into the Cobolli backhand, and Cobolli hits it wide. 15-30. Chance for Fery to possibly get the break and serve for the second. All right, 15-30. As a default second serve, Cobolli. God, he is in trouble. As a backhand return from Fery goes long. Ooh, 30-0. Cobolli hanging on. 30-0. They're really working on Fritz's right knee. Great serve, Cobolli, 40-30. All right, 40-30. Fifth ace for Cobolli. As a return goes in the forehand of Cobolli. Back and slash from Fery up the line is wide, and it's 4-0 in the second. All right. Good hold, Cobolli. 4-4. All right, back to Fery on serve. 4-0. What's happened to Fritz? He's just getting worked on his knee. It didn't do nothing happened, but he just needed some treatment on his knee, which has been giving him trouble this year. I don't know if it's the same knee, but he has been having knee issues for this year. A backhand rally. All right, Fritz is back on court. Let's see if he's okay. All right, Zverev to serve. 2-1 Fritz in the second. There's a backhand. No, it's a fault by Zverev. Second serve. Fery comes net with a drop volley, but it's in the net. 15-0. All right, Zverev serves again. Into the backhand of Fritz. Backhand of Zverev into the forehand of Fritz. And Zverev again to the forehand of Fritz. Fritz overhits it. 15-love. I wonder if Fritz is going to be more aggressive. He's still testing it out, that knee. He might play more aggressive because he doesn't want to play these long rallies. As Zverev serves an ace out wide. Yeah, Fritz was standing way closer to the baseline that time. So it's the same knee that he was having trouble with back in March. So it was tendonitis, right? So it's different to like having a serious injury. Tendonitis is no joke, but like, still not ideal. But he had a knee. So he said, "I'm managing my knee. Some days are better than others." This was back in March. He said in Dallas, his knee didn't bother him, but in Indian Wells it did. So yeah. So he's just had knee issues. The same knee, right? That's the right knee. And that's what he just got treatment on. So yeah. So it seems like an ongoing thing. As we had a smash from Zverev, that's going to be a winner. No, it's missed. Okay, he missed it. 40-15. 40-30 for Fery as he tries to stay in front. $40-30. All right. Serving to the back of Cobolli. Return is good. No, it's out. Just out by Cobolli. Okay. 5-4 to Fery. Cobolli is serving to stay in the second set. As we are serving now the back of Fritz. Back in from Zverev. Again to the back of Fritz. Up the line to the back to the forehand of Zverev. As Fritz with a slice. Drop shot. Zverev gets it back. Fritz with a lob. Goes long. And it's 2-0. Fritz is retiring. No, he's not. All right, 2-0 in the second. And Zverev holds. All right, back to Fritz. As he serves the back in Zverev. Back in Fritz in the net. Yeah, when Fritz has to put weight on his right leg on that backhand, for example, he just didn't get the power that he needed. And he's just definitely feeling it. And probably cautious, right? He's probably a little nervous about it too, All right, return goes forehand of Fritz into the back of Zverev. Back into Fritz again, the back of Zverev. That's Fritz with a forehand cross court. That's a great shot. All right, 15-0. Cobolli serving to stay in the second. All right, volley from Cobolli, too good, 15-love. All right, Fritz serving again, 15-0. As the return goes into the backhand of Fritz, Zverev gets it back to the forehand of Fritz. Into the backhand of Zverev, Fritz with the forehand. Getting to the forehand of Zverev. Now Fritz backhand cross court. Zverev slices it back. Into the forehand of Fritz. Fritz overhits it. 15-30. By the way, chat, the reason why I don't think Fritz is going to retire is because I think he knows he's played with this. And yeah, it could get worse. And that's something he's going to have to weigh up. But he's not going to be playing for like 3 weeks. So he knows that if he does lose this match, he at least has time to recover for the US Open. And the US Open Series, right? So I don't think he was going to retire. If he had to play next week, you'd be like, oh, well, he has to weigh it up. But he's not playing for 3 weeks. So there's no need for him to be like, oh, well, I have to be good for next week. No, it's now or it's never, right? This is why he didn't play all the warm-ups at the French, right? And that's why he didn't do well at the French, but he didn't play any clay tennis to be ready for this tournament. This is the tournament that he focused on, right? He basically ditched the clay. He then played all the grass, and then he played this, to get ready for this, right? This is it. So I would be very, unless his knee gets worse, I'd be very surprised he retired this match, because this is what he's been healing for, right? This is why he didn't play the clay, to do well at Wimbledon, because he knows that this is his better chance. We got a volley now from Fritz. That's a good shot. 3-2. And he has managed with this knee tendonitis on and off all year. So it's not, this is not something new. He knows, he's played like under this before. He knows what's going on. He's like, okay, it sucks, but it's not a new thing. So he'll manage it during this match as best he can. 30-all, by the way. Cobolli's in big trouble. Is it a backhand for Fery on the stretch? Cobolli on the attack. Fery with a slice again. Cobolli, forehand again. As Fery with a pass, it's going to be a lob. Very high lob. Bounce smash Cobolli. Fery puts up another lob, but that one goes out. 40-30 Cobolli. Cobolli to keep this match, or keep this set alive. All right, 40-30 Cobolli. By the way, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We have semi-finals of the ladies tomorrow. Men's semis on Friday. And then the finals over the weekend. After this, we've only got six matches left. And then the Grand Slam, known as Wimbledon, is over. And then we go to the hard courts in a couple weeks. As Cobolli hits it, Fery hits it in the net, and Cobolli holds 5-5. Cobolli stays in this set, which he needs this set. Cobolli 2 sets to love deficit is brutal. Not that he can't come back, but it's a mountain. All right, 3-2 Fritz in the second. The winners of these matches play each other on Friday. There's a bit of serve from Zverev to the corner Fritz. Corner from Zverev into the Fritz backhand, but Fritz hits it long, and it's 15-love Zverev. As Cobolli returns in the forehand Fery, Cobolli with a backhand cross-court. Fery into the Cobolli forehand. As it a forehand rally now. Now Cobolli mixing it up. As Fery goes into the backhand of Cobolli. Into the backhand of Fery. Good drop shot. And then the volley up the line from Fery's good, but Cobolli overhits it on the forehand. Nice hustle by Fery. 15-love. Can people stop saying that Fritz is retiring? Yeah, those people that are saying Fritz is retiring are wanting him to retire so that they can get their refund on their bets. That's what they're doing. That's why. They're hoping he retires. Like they're cheering for the retirement because they're going to lose money. That's what they're doing. Anyways, Fritz hits it out, 30-love. Like all those people that they want Fritz to retire so they can get a refund. That's what it is. It's got nothing. They don't actually give a shit about Fritz. All right, nice return from Cobolli, 15-0. As Fritz returns the forehand to Zverev. Zverev hits a winner. 40-love. All right, 40-love. Zverev to level this second set. So, to those who are hoping that Fritz retires, Fritz has retired once in his career. And that was back in Washington 2022, where he retired against Dan Evans. So he's only ever retired once in his entire career. And I can't remember exactly why he retired back then, but it must have been pretty serious for Fritz to retire a match because he doesn't quit. He might get injured, but he plays the match. Look at Indian Wells 2020. Was it 2022 when he won Indian Wells? Didn't retire the match, played with a terrible injury, won the match. So yeah, he was okay. So apparently he retired due to heat-related illness, so which could be heat stroke. So it's got to have to take something pretty serious to knock Fritz out, or like for him to throw in the towel. A knee issue that he's already had, and he already knows about, is probably not going to be it. So if you're praying for a retirement, you're probably not going to get it. So you probably should just accept it and cheer for Fritz because he's still in this match. 3-0. 6-5 for Fery, by the way. He's forcing Cobolli to play a tiebreak to keep this close for Cobolli. 2 sets to love on this day. No. All right, love 15. As Fritz serves. And ace down the tee. 15-all. And that was a 500 event, not Wimbledon quarterfinal. Exactly. And as the return goes into the forehand of Fritz, backhand from Zverev. Into the slice of Fritz. Too good by Zverev. Fritz hits it wide. 15-30. 15-30. All right, serve again. Into the forehand of Zverev. Zverev in the net. 30-all. As long as he's got that serve, Fritz, he's in this match. The serve has got to carry him. He's got to serve more first serves in because the first serve was missing in the first set. Part of the reason why he got broken and lost the set. All right. As Cobolli serves to stay in the set again. As Fritz with another great serve, another massive winner. And it's advantage Fritz 40-30 to get the lead again as Fery, love 15. Nice hitting from Fery. Tell you, 2 totally different matches here. We've got one match where they're grinding the baseline. And the other match, it's all about the serve. As with a serve from Fritz. Into the backhand of Zverev, return the back to Fritz. Zverev with a forehand again, the back of Fritz. Zverev with a backhand up the line. Fritz with a slice. Goes long. And it's deuce. And again, Zverev's playing more aggressive. Especially knowing that Fritz is not feeling great. He's making him move, and I like that from Zverev. He's not just sitting back and just expecting it, which is what Zverev was doing for so long that everyone got annoyed at, right? He would wait for an error, wait for something to happen, and he wouldn't make it happen. But this Zverev, he's making things happen. 4-4 rally. As Fritz with a great shot. Zverev slice, Fritz volleys. Zverev pass in the net. Oh, lucky. Fritz got lucky. Advantage. Love 30, Fery. As a default from Cobolli. What's going on? Second serve. This is Felinska all over again. Except for British players. As we're back in now to the forehand of Cobolli. And a wild card. As a 4-4 rally again. Cobolli. Again with a forehand. Slice from Fery. Cobolli. Inside our forehand. Fery with a pass. Oh, it's long. Almost incredible. 15-30. Fritz survives. And he stays in front 4-3. Second set. All right, 15-30. I'll tell you, Zverev just has to play one terrible service game and Fritz can level this match. Fritz is one bad game of Zverev to get, Zverev just has to double fault once and it's 15-40 or something. Fritz can take the break and serve for the set. We're this close to a one set all. Zverev's not in control, that much control. He's this, it's not far away from a comeback. All right, nice serving from Fery. Sorry, for Cobolli. Fery hits it out. 30-all. 30-all. As Cobolli serves again. Into the forehand of Fery. Return is in, but Cobolli's there with the forehand. Winner. 40-30. Cobolli still hanging on. 40-30. There's a bit of fault from Cobolli. Second serve. Mount Everest is packed with people. As Fery hits a return wide and Cobolli gets to the tiebreak. All right, who's winning this tiebreak? Who you got? Who's winning this tiebreak? Must-win tiebreak, you feel it, for Cobolli. I'm not sure what his 2 sets of love deficit record is, but you would think that you don't want to go down 2 sets of love in a quarterfinal of a slam against a player who has the entire nation behind him, except for that guy in the American shirt. All right, here we go. Fery to serve. All right, 1-love Fery. By the way, I've just looked it up. Cobolli has never come back from 2 sets of love down. So if Fery wins this set, Cobolli's going to have to do something he's never done. He's been down 2 sets of love 8 times and he has come back to a 5-setter twice. One against Runa and one against Tabilo. One at Wimbledon, one at the French. But he's never won a match from 2 sets down. So, sort of a must-win set for Cobolli. As that goes out by Cobolli, and it's 2-love Fery. All right, it's 15-love as that goes out by Fritz. 30-love. All right, Cobolli serves 2-love Fery. Cobolli serves. Fery hits it out in the return. 2-1 to Fery. Zverev cruising. 40-love. All right, Fery with the mini break. There's a serve. Here's a fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Cobolli. Return the net. Oh, bad miss. The re-one. Fritz overheating a lot, not able to put full weight on his leg. Yeah, I think it might be a little bit of both. Like, he doesn't want to risk putting his weight on his leg, but he's also, like, when he does, he can feel the pain, so... It's usually, it looks like the backhand is giving him more trouble than the forehand, to be honest. As Zverev too strong. Again, Zverev serving so well as well, which doesn't help. As with a slice lob from Cobolli, but Fery puts away the smash. No, he doesn't. Cobolli gets it back, but misses. 4-1 Fery. Fery with the mini break. And Cobolli in big trouble. Big trouble. Fery just living the dream. All right, Fritz with an ace, 15-love. All right, serve. Into the fort of Fery. Return goes long, and Cobolli survives. 4-2, they change ends. As Fritz goes to 30-love. All right, 4-2 Fery. And as Fritz serves a fault, second serve, 30-love. Second serve. Oh, double fault Fritz. Yuck. That was a shocking second serve. 30-15. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're almost at 300 likes. We've got the semi-finals tomorrow. Big day of semi-finals tomorrow. All right. 30-15 here as Fritz tries to stay in front. But more importantly, Cobolli trying to stay alive as we get a forehand out of the slice of Fery. Forehand from Cobolli cross-court. Fery's going to get there with a slice forehand. Inside out forehand to the back and a Fery. To the forehand of Cobolli. Fery slice again. Goes in the net. And it's 4-3 Fery. He's got the mini break. All right, 30-all. Fritz in big trouble. As he serves. Into the backhand, Zverev return the forehand of Fritz. Zverev forehand again to the forehand of Fritz. Oh, Fritz hits it just into the back of Zverev. Fritz with the slice. As Zverev starts to unleash. Fritz on the stretch. Again to the forehand of Zverev as Fritz hanging on in the point and hits it back into the net though. 30-40 Zverev. And he keeps flexing the knee. Break point Zverev. As we get a serve into the backhand of Cobolli. Backing up from Fery. As Cobolli back up the line. Fery gets it back with a forehand. Into the back of Cobolli. Cross-court the backhand slice of Fery. And then Cobolli backhand wide. 5-3 Fery. Fritz serves out wide. Zverev returns a slice. Goes in. Fritz forehand again to the backhand of Zverev. As Fritz backhand again. Goes long and there's the break. Big shouts by Sasha. And Fritz wants to break something, but he knows he's not allowed to break the grass. He'll get in trouble. 5-4. Zverev's going to serve for a 2-set-to-love lead. All right. 5-3 Fery. Cobolli needs a great return here. Second serve. As the return goes in the backhand of Fery. As Fery with a forehand at the back of Cobolli. And Cobolli hits it deep. Too deep. And it's 6-3 Fery. What is going on? 6-3 for Fery. It's going to be Cobolli serving first. He's got 3 set points for a 2-set-to-love lead. How are these matches marrying each other? Like, we started almost the same time. We're second set. The underdog's getting the 2 set. I don't know what's going on. First serve's a foul, second serve. Second serve, Cobolli. Into the back of the Fery, shanks it, but it goes in the forehand of Cobolli. Fery backhand slice. As Cobolli, forehand cross court. Fery's got it. As Cobolli with a forehand up the line. Fery with a slice. Backhand! Cobolli with a good volley. Ooh, that would have been tough. That was a very awkward slice cross court. And Cobolli just drops it over. I mean, how many times have we seen players miss that kind of a volley? It's a great slice backhand. Very awkward, but Cobolli puts it away, and it's 6-4 Fery. 6-4 to Fery. Cobolli serves. A fault. Second serve. Into the back of Fery. Great return. Slice. Cobolli goes in. Fery with a volley. Cobolli's going to get there with a slice backhand. Lob! Lob goes long! Fery's got a 2-set-to-love lead! All right. 2 sets of love for Fery. Both Cobolli and Fery are going to have to come back from 2 sets down now. Not Cobolli, sorry. Not Fery, sorry. Fritz. Cobolli and Fritz are going to have to come back from 2 sets down now. If Zverev can hold. But he's been automatic today, Zverev. As Zverev serves. Down the tee, a massive serve. 15 love. Nice work, Fery. Remember, Cobolli's never come back from 2 sets down. Today will have to be his first if he can figure it out. He has played 5 sets after 2 set deficits, but Cobolli's just shaking his head. Backhand return, Fritz. The backhand is Zverev. Fritz backhand again. Into the slices, Zverev. It's Fritz. Backhand to backhand with Zverev. Now Fritz gets his forehand cross court. Zverev on the stretch gets it, but hits in the net. 15-0. Nice hitting from Fery. 12 winners, 6 errors. He is playing so well. He just knows how to play on these courts. So, like, that's the thing, right? It's like, it's funny because we were talking about Dan Evans, right? Not getting a wild card. Besides not having a one-hander, like, Fery is kind of a bit like Evans. Evans was what? 5'9", 5'10", right? Fery's the same. Just a scrapper. He's got a double-handed, two-handed backhand. That's the big difference. But it's very similar style, right? He's a scrappy kind of player. Evans came to the net way more. Maybe a generational thing, right? Being from an early late 2000s generation where the serve volley was still around. But definitely just a scrappy player. He just hustles everything. As that goes to the net by Fritz on the return. 40-15. Zverev for a 2-sets-to-love lead. And Zverev serves. Into the back of Fritz. Return goes to the net. Zverev's got a 2-sets-to-love lead. All right. Fery versus Zverev. That's very hard to say. God, this is not going to be fun on Friday if this is what we get. Zverev takes a 2-sets-to-love lead, and Fritz is taking a bathroom break. All right, now, let me have a look. When Zverev wins the first 2 sets at any tournament, he's 78 wins, 3 losses. Not including this week. So including this week, he's about 80 wins, 3 losses. But the last player to beat Zverev from 2-sets-to-love when he was up 2-sets-to-love, the last player, can you guess, chat, can you guess the last player to beat Zverev when Zverev was up 2-sets-to-love? Who was the last player? Take a guess. There's a lot, might be obvious, might not be, I don't know. Who was the last player to beat Zverev in 2-sets-to-love when Zverev was up 2-sets-to-love? Alcaraz, no. Djokovic, no. Sinner, no. Medvedev, no. Team, no. Carlos, no. Medi, no. Team, no. Bublik, no. Fritz. It was Fritz. So Fritz at Wimbledon 2024, Zverev was up 2-sets-to-love, and Fritz came back to win in 5. So the last man to beat him from this position was the man that he faces today. So that's something. But on that day, Fritz had both his knees. Today, Fritz has got one knee. Now, when was the last time Fritz came back from 2-sets-to-love down? Because that's also something. 4 times he's come back from 2-sets-to-love down, Fritz. He did it against Pirikar here last year at Wimbledon last year. Also play, obviously, the Zverev match as well. Anderson back in 2020 at the Australian Open. And also Misha Zverev at the US Open 2018. So twice at Wimbledon, he's come back from 2-sets-to-love down to take the win. So, and luckily for Fritz, one of them was against Zverev. So there you go. So there is hope. There is hope for Fritz. But he's also serving second in the third, so that sucks. But we'll find out if Fritz can do it again. All right. Zverev to win Wimbledon? That'd be kind of wild, wouldn't it? All right, let's see whether or not Cobolli can fight back, as he's talking to his coaches a lot. And he's telling his coaches not to talk. All right. All right, Fritz is back. Let's see if either of these guys can come back from this position. I think Fritz coming back from 2 sets down is more likely than Cobolli. Well, then again, maybe not, because Fery's got to do the thing. He's got to finish the job, which, He's got to finish the job. Cobolli might be able to win 3 sets in a row, whereas Fritz against Zverev's less likely to be that generous, right? Whereas Fery, never been here before, he could drop a couple of sets with nerves, and Cobolli could rage back. I don't know. It still feels like these matches aren't over. I think maybe it's going to be harder for Fritz to come back against Zverev because of Zverev's serving is amazing and Fritz's knee is bothering him. Whereas Fery could take off this 3rd set and Cobolli could start to get some momentum, All right, 30 love Fritz. Serve down the tee is let. Oh, wait, Fritz is serving first. My bad. I thought Fritz was serving second. Sorry, he's serving first. He's serving first in the 3rd, which might help him. Is it a backhand rally? It's Zverev again, the backhand Fritz into the front of Zverev. And Zverev hits it wide, and it's 40 love. All right, Cobolli is also serving first in the 3rd. It's crazy these matches are on point. All right, 40 love Fritz. Remember, the winners of these match play each other on Friday. After Sinner versus Djokovic, that'll be the first match, and then this will be the second match, I would guess. As a forehand now from Cobolli to the back of Fery. Forehand now is Fery on the attack. Drop shot. Cobolli gets it back with a slice, and then the volley in the net by Fery. Good effort. 15-all. All right, backhand return goes to the backhand of Fritz. Fritz in the net, 40-30. All right, 40-30. As we get a serve from Fritz as a fault, second serve. By the way, chat, which match is going to finish first? 1 in the chat if you think Fritz Zverev finishes first. 2 in the chat if you think Fery Cobolli finishes first. Which match ends first? 1 for Fritz Zverev, 2 for Cobolli Fery. As we slice from Cobolli in the net, 30-all. And deuce for Fritz. 1 for Fritz Zverev, 2 for Cobolli Fery. Which one finishes first? Which match ends first? As Fritz gets to advantage. A lot of people going with Fery Cobolli, okay? They finished at the exact same time. Well, that's 3. If you think it's going to finish at the same time, 3. Like, I'd be pretty surprised. Look, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Fery finishes in straights because Cobolli's never won from 2 sets down, so he knows that too. Whereas I'd be pretty shocked if Fritz went out in straights. That would be pretty surprising, unless it's a tiebreak. I think it's more likely that Fery finishes the job here in straights because he's got momentum and Cobolli's not having fun, and also there's a break point right now, 30-40. As the return from Fery goes into the forehand of Cobolli, Fery with the backhand on the stretch. Cobolli, forehand again to the forehand of Fery. Again to the forehand of Cobolli. Is Cobolli in the net? There's the break. Fery's got 2 sets of love and a break. Is Cobolli taking Fery too lightly? Like, has he underestimated Fery? He has played him, so I mean, why would he underestimate him? He's played him, he lost to him, so why would he not? He would. I mean, it's not like he's played him. Maybe that's the problem too, is that he's played him. And Fery's like, yeah, I beat you in straight sets, I'll do it again. All right, 15 love Zverev. Lovely hitting by Fery. Zverev serves again. And the return goes backhand of Zverev. Backhand from Fritz to the forehand, Zverev to the backhand of Fritz. Zverev backhand again to the backhand of Fritz. Zverev with another forehand. Fritz with a slice, goes wide. Nice hitting. Zverev just wants it more. 30 love. Zverev is just going for the shots. Fritz is just waiting. I'll tell you, for the next match, for the semis, I mean, if Fritz's knee's giving him trouble, you'd probably rather see a healthy Zverev versus Fery than a... I mean, if you're Fery, you want to play Fritz if he's sore, right? But I think if you're a neutral fan, you want to see you don't want to see a... Well, first of all, we don't want what we had at the French where somebody pulled out. But you don't want to see like... I mean, maybe it's... maybe not. Maybe Fritz Fery is a good match because of the Fritz knee might be a little bit sus, so then it evens it out. I don't know. But you don't want to see somebody injured in a final or semi-final. You want two as healthy as possible players, right? Put on the best performance. All right, 30-15 Zverev. As the return goes into the forehand of Zverev, forehand from Fritz is long. And again, Fritz is really hesitant at putting weight on the knee on the forehand too. When he goes to load up on the forehand, he's just really like, dah, dah. He really doesn't want to like, he's doing like short, sharp, little swings because he doesn't want to, he's hesitating on that knee, on that leg. It's weird, like really little sharp, like whips that he's missing. Good serve down the tee from Zverev. Return goes in the forehand of Fritz now. Zverev forehand slice. Fritz. Forehand inside out. Zverev with a pass is a lob. Bounce smash Fritz. Puts that away. 40-30. All right, 30-15 is with a forehand now from Fery to the back of Cobolli. Slice from Fery. Cobolli hits it up the line. Fery gets it back. Backhand rally. That's Cobolli with a forehand cross court. Fery with a slice. Goes long. It's 30-all. What type of player does Zverev not like playing? What's the Sinner type? Jannik Sinner type? Italian? Forehand. Into the backhand of Zverev. Oh, Fritz left it. Why would he leave it? It was always going in. Fritz went for the jump and then he left it and Zverev shot landed in by a fair bit. 1-1. Fritz had the volley. Could have put that away. He could have at least attempted it. He might not have put it away, but he could have attempted. 1-1. 30-all here. Fery trying to keep the break. He's been a forehand from Fery into the backhand of Cobolli. Fery backhand to the forehand of Cobolli. Again, the forehand of Fery as Cobolli wins the point. Fery just hits it out. 30-40. Okay. 30-40. Cobolli to get back on serve straight away. It's Fritz backhand to backhand with Zverev. Another backhand from Fritz on the stretch. Goes long. 15-all. As we serve now, the backhand of Cobolli. Return goes in the back of Fery. We've got a forehand from Cobolli. Fery forehand inside out. Cobolli gets a backhand on the stretch. Fery drop shot. Cobolli gets it with a slice. Fery half volley up the line. Cobolli with a pass is a lob. And then the smash from Fery. Just too good. We get the deuce. Just too good on the smash from Fery. Great serve from Fritz down the tee. 30-15. 30-15. Ah, 30-15. As the return goes out by Zverev, 40-15. As the return goes into the forehand of Fery. Cobolli backhand again in the back of Fery. There's Cobolli fine pass. Fery with a volley in the net. Yeah, the pass was too good. Not a great approach by Fery. Advantage Cobolli. As Fritz serves. Into the backhand is Zverev. Fritz with a forehand shanked wide. 40-30. 40-30. As he serves again. Into the front is Zverev. Return goes short. Fritz forehand up the line, but stays back and then hits it back into the net. Fritz, I don't know why Fritz wouldn't at least attempt a volley. So this is the thing too with Fritz, is that even he doesn't really have a plan B. You know what I mean? As Fery hits a great smash and Cobolli in the net, we get to deuce. Like, Fritz can't shorten the points except for his serve, yeah? Otherwise, he's not coming to the net. He's not comfortable there. Which is a shame, because in a situation like this, chucking in some serve volleys would probably do him some good. But he can't do the volley. He doesn't have the volley. There's a point up the line from Fritz, so he has to grind it out in the baseline and keep his knee at work, Backhand rally. As Fritz gets to the front of Zverev. Front from Fritz. Goes long, yep. Advantage. Zverev. And it sucks because Fritz has got such a big serve that he could probably follow it in. But he just doesn't want to, and it's just not something that he feels comfortable doing. He'd rather stand back and rally, But that's just a symptom of that whole generation. Like, that's just not him. That whole generation have an allergy to the net, Zverev has it too. Some Medvedev, right? I mean, all those guys. They all don't want to come to the net. It's just not in their, it's just not natural. Even when it probably is maybe better for them. There's been a backhand return, the backhand of Fritz, backhand of Zverev, to the backhand of Fritz. Zverev, backhand again, into the backhand of Fritz. Zverev gets the break, Fritz hits it long. All right. And Fery holds, he keeps the break. 2-love on both courts, and a break. Zverev lets Fritz go first. Through as they walk past each other. All right. 2-love and a break for Fery. 2-love and a break for Zverev. And they are on a collision course for the semis on Friday. Which, I'll tell you, you know what I'd rather... Oh, man, it kind of stinks that we have this lineup, but it would have been really interesting if the semifinals were Djokovic-Fery. And I'm not saying Zverev... I mean, I know Zverev and Sinner could never have played in the semis because of their ranking, but it really would have been fun if the semifinal lineup was Fery-Djokovic, because I'm like, Fery-Zverev, okay. That's going to be interesting, right? Fery's on a roller coaster ride and everyone's going to be excited. But Zverev doesn't respond to the crowds negatively like that. So he's not going to be affected by the crowd. But it would have been really interesting to see Djokovic versus Fery. And we might still get in the final, right? But it would have been really interesting to see that as a semi-final with this crowd going wild. And Djokovic has already been at the start of the first round when Wu was, when people were wooing, he was pissed at them. Imagine him playing a Brit. He did play Norrie here in the semis back a couple of years ago and didn't have very much fun then. But that won't be happening, obviously. Fery's going to play Zverev if they win. As Fery hits a lovely shot up the line, love 30. Cobolli's in big trouble now. Oh, wow. That hit the line by a little bit. Are we really going to get a Zverev versus Sinner final? At Wimbledon? At Wimbledon? I look, okay. I'm not counting out Fery, but let's just put them both in the final, right? It is kind of interesting to see how Zverev is against Sinner with a Grand Slam now. Like, I think once he won that slam, we all think, we're all probably curious now to go, okay, but does it change things when he plays the other guys? Does it, okay, he won the French Open, weight of the world off his shoulders, wins the Grand Slam. He's not the best player to never win one now. He's got the slam. But that's great for his career and his legacy. but doesn't matter when it comes to playing Sinner or Alcaraz. Because if you want to win a second one, you got to beat them, right? It's not going to, this opportunity that he got and he took, luckily, he luckily took it. It's not going to come around again. You're going to have to go through Sinner to win Wimbledon, most likely. You're going to have to go through Alcaraz to win titles, right? So it is kind of interesting if we do get that final. To go, okay, now that Sasha's, level when it comes to, like, achievements, right? I've won a slam, you've won a slam, right? Does that make any difference? Most people in the chat are saying, no, it doesn't make any difference. But that's what's interesting, because who knows? Maybe it does. Maybe he just, like, unleashes hell, which would be insane. Like, that would be crazy. Yeah, he's overcoming Fritz. I mean, I know Fritz isn't his best self right now, but Zverev beating Fritz after losing 7 in a row might add some, especially on grass, on Fritz's surface. Maybe he likes his chances, Sasha. You know what I mean? He doesn't feel like, I've got to try and push a boulder up a hill. He's like, no, I've done that. I've won the Grand Slam now. I don't need to. I've won a major. I don't need to. There's no pressure. He'll be going into the Sinner match in the final if he makes it without any pressure. Like, Zverev's going to be like, well, it's not mine to win, right? This is not my title to win. And let's be honest, Sinner's got a lot of pressure on him because he hasn't won a slam yet. Sinner hasn't won a slam in 12 months. Imagine he doesn't win Wimbledon. We go to the US Open and Sinner's slamless. He doesn't hold any slams. That'd be weird. Considering how good he's been outside the slams. That'd be kind of weird. Anyways, we're getting way ahead of ourselves. Fery hasn't even won yet. Or Cobolli. Or Fritz. Fritz is looking rough, though. 15-all. All right, Cobolli in big trouble again. And also Djokovic is still around. Remember him? All right, advantage Fery. Sabalenka's slamless right now. No, Sabalenka still has the US Open in a she's the reigning champion. You're only slamless if you don't win a slam within the 12 months, right? She still has the US Open, so she's not slamless. Whereas if Sinner lost the Wimbledon, he wouldn't have any slams. He wouldn't be defending any champion, and that's pointing to his ear from Cobolli. He keeps himself alive. I don't know if he knows that the other guy's British, but he's pointing to his ear. It's like, you're not going to get much love from this crowd. This crowd are going to cheer the other guy and maybe give you a pity clap for a good effort. All right, 30-15 Fritz. As the return goes in the back end of Fritz. Fritz hits it up the line and wide. 30-all. Yeah, Fritz is looking pretty beat up. All right, return goes to forehand of Cobolli. Fery up the line. Cobolli with a forehand on the stretch. Goes in the forehand of Fery. As Cobolli with a forehand again. To the forehand of Fery. Cobolli another forehand to the forehand of Fery. As Cobolli again with a forehand inside out to the backhand slice of Fery. As Cobolli forehand on the stretch. Fery gets it back. Cobolli goes up the line again. Slice from Fery into the forehand of Cobolli. As Fery forehand again. Cobolli with a slice. Into the forehand of Fery. As Cobolli back in again in the net. Nice rally by Fery. Advantage Fery to get that double break. As Zverev goes to the back of Fritz. Fritz in the net. Deuce. How are these matches almost exactly the same with the way that they're going? All right, deuce. And advantage Fery. Fery for the double break. The insurance break. As we serve from Cobolli. Here's a fault. Second serve. I want a break point for a double break. And again, Fritz is just flexing his knee. Advantage Zverev for a double break. Cobolli gives a serve to the back of Fery. Back into Cobolli to the forehand is Fery. Cobolli forehand. Goes wide. And Fery's got a 3-love lead in the third. 2 sets to love and a double break. As Fritz serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve, as Camilla was on the camera, she waves. Zverev gets a double break with a return winner. Did anyone else see that? With the fan in one hand. That's the queen right there. Double break. She saw us, someone carries her. And then they cut away. The worst part was they cut away from her. Give the lady let her do a royal wave. Let her do the wave. God damn it. Cameraman savage. And show Camilla for 1 second. Come on, give her at least 5 seconds to wave. She realized she was on the camera and then she went to do the thing and then they bloody cut away. Ah, man. Let the step queen wave. Anyways, what is this matches? We're getting the exact same situation. Double break on both courts. Who says the love on both courts? The underdog's winning on both courts because Fritz was the favorite against Zverev. I'll tell you, they're showing this winner up the line from Zverev. God, man. Zverev in the semis of Wimbledon? Where? How? He's gone so under the radar too because we've been focusing on, Shelton losing at the start and we're focusing on de Minaur a little bit down the bottom, and Fritz obviously was the man who was supposed to, he was the one that we all expected on the grass, and then we obviously keep watching Sinner and Djokovic, who are the favorites to win this tournament. And then Zverev just kind of snuck through the draw. We've not been focused. We haven't barely watched him. We haven't thought that Zverev was going to be this far into the tournament. But then again, his draw wasn't terrible, so it wasn't like we thought he was going to lose. Lehechka was a speed bump. That was not easy. He was supposed to play Alice or Rinaldi or Mutaib or Giron, and he beat Giron. Blocks in the first round was his toughest match so far. And then, Bublik, Fritz, Tiafoe were, here, and but nobody, Zverev's kind of just come out of nowhere. He's just literally flown under the radar down the bottom of the draw. We've been watching Sinner and Djokovic because they have way more to prove this week. And we didn't expect, Zverev lost first round last year. We weren't thinking Zverev's making the semis. There was no expectation on that. On grass? That's not his thing. It is this year, 4-1. All right, 30 love for Fery. As Fery keeps the dream alive. I tell you, Ferry's doing the All England Club a favour too, because the better he does, the less people are going to talk about Evans not getting a wild card. You know what I mean? No one's talking about Evans missing out on a wild card now because the wild card went to this guy, and this guy's, not that it wasn't. You can say that it was, but, there's other wild cards too, but they're going to be like, oh, well, now the wild card went to this guy. Evans, what if we gave it to Evo? We would have missed out on this. That's not technically true, but there are more wild cards at one. It's very hard. It's 4 love. But it does help people forget about, not giving Dan Evans one. It helps. It helps. He did deserve one, though. He should have bloody got one. 4 love. As with a serve now from Cobolli into the backhand of Fery. As backhand Cobolli, the backhand Fery. Cobolli backing up the line. Fery. Forehand goes wide. 15 love. As Zverev serves. Zverev with the serve is a fault. Second serve. Maybe Evans would have done the same. Hey, maybe. Maybe. That would have been crazy, though. Can you imagine Evo in his last Wimbledon going on this run? Whew, that would have been something. That would have been nuts. All right, forehand goes in the net by Fritz, 30-15. Zverev, I don't think he's going to drop a 2-break third set lead from 2 sets of love. It would be an all-time meltdown if Zverev lost this match now. Not this Sasha. Slam Sasha is clearly different. At least this week. He's playing at a different level of confidence. All right, Fery, by the way, speaking of confidence, he wants a bagel. What the hell? Give this man a bagel. 15:30. As a return from Fritz goes to the back, and Zverev sliced into the back of Fritz. Fritz in the net. 40-15. Sinner lost from 2-love, 5-1 up at Roland Garros, yeah. But he also was sick, so I don't think unless Zverev gets ill in the next 5 minutes, I would be very surprised if he lost this lead. All right, Zverev with an ace, 5-1. Zverev's serve has been so good in this match. And unfortunately, Fritz hasn't been able to keep up to that level of serving, even though he's a phenomenal server too, right? I mean, Fritz is serving, he's a beast on serve, but Zverev is just clinic on his serve. Hasn't been broken. Just awesome from Zverev on serve. He's going to have to do that if he's going to play Djokovic or Sinner, because he's going to have to play one of them to win a final and win another slam. Imagine he won. Oh, can he? How does Zverev win the slam, whatever, the Channel Slam? That's crazy if that happened. He can't do that, can he? He can. He might. All right, 30-40 Fery to go to 5-love. Cobolli serves down the tee, the forehand of Fery. Return goes in. Cobolli. Forehand to the slice of Fery. Fery hits it out. We get the deuce. All right, 15-love. Fritz serving to stay in the match. Great serve. 30-love. Fery is just a joke. Corrupted English play. Oh, boo fucking who? 30-love. As that goes to net by Cobolli. Advantage Fery to go to 5-love. All right, 40-love for Fritz to make Zverev serve for the match. As Fritz serves an ace. All right, Fritz holds, but Zverev is going to serve for the semis. All right, advantage Fery to go to 5-love. Serving to the forehand of Fery. Return goes to the forehand of Cobolli. Fery backhand pass. Cobolli with a drop volley. Fery's going to get it. And Cobolli puts up a lob. Fery with a smash. He's letting it bounce. Smart. And he puts it straight to Cobolli, who hits it in the net. There it is. Break. 5-love Fery. Wow. By the way, how weird is it, chat? And look, I know that Djokovic isn't technically the third best player in the world by ranking, but let's be honest, the three best players in the tournament, right? Because no Alcaraz, and then the wild card: Sinner, Djokovic, Zverev, right? We know them. We've seen them many times. They're normal semi-finals and slams, right? We're used to that. And then Fery, the random. What a lineup! Great for Fery. Love that for Fery. And I know, like, fairy tale, blah blah, haha, but it is a fairy tale run. Like, this is what it is, right? This is what a fairy tale run is. A wild card making the semis is rare. We don't get this. We had Falinska taking the as a quali getting to the final, second player since Raducanu, right? And now a wild card makes the semis. I mean, this doesn't happen. We don't see this. This is not usual, right? Especially when you got the other three guys, Grand Slam champions, top of the tree, right? I mean, and then just some random wild card who has gone on a crazy run to join them. All right, Zverev serve for the match. So is Fery. They're going to finish at the same bloody time. Who said 3? Who said 3? All right, Zverev serves. 15-love. And Fery serving as well. There's a bit of serve from Zverev as a fault second serve. Return the net by Cobolli. 15-love Fery. Chat, who's going to finish first? 1 for Zverev, 2 for Fery. Who finishes first? Which one? 1 for Zverev, 2 for Fery. Who's finishing this match first? Which match ends first? Back in return goes back into Zverev. Forehand from Fritz. Into the forehand of Zverev as Fritz gets the point. Zverev in the net. As Fery serves an ace. All right, 30 love. Fery's 2 points away. Zverev's 3 points away. All right, 30 love Fery. As Fery serves into the forehand of Cobolli. Return goes to the forehand of Fery. Cobolli backhand slice is off the tape. Oh, Fery gets it. Oh, what a pickup. The entire crowd are on their feet. Great reactions from Fery. And he brings himself match point. What a reaction. He could have given that point away. He's up 5-love. He didn't have to go for that. He could have given that point away and gone, it doesn't matter. I'm still 30-15. No, he's like, no, I've got to basically put my life on the line to get that ball back. Match points for Fery to put himself in a Wimbledon semi. Ace out wide. Fery does it. Wow, an all-time British run. It's up there with the Henman runs. It's up there with the Murray titles. Fery is in the semis. It is a British fairy tale run, which we know how the drought's been. We know the heartbreak of Henman. Even Murray had a bit of heartbreak before he finally broke through. But Fery, he joins British tennis law at Wimbledon. As Zverev serves an ace, and he's about to finish this match and get to the semis as well. It's crazy that happened. This is like Man United versus Man City when they went for the premiership. And one kicked a goal over here, and then they kicked a goal over here. Aguero! 40-15. Zverev to join Fery in the semis. And to do it in front of the Queen. How about that? All right, 40-15. Zverev serves. Out wide of the corner, Fritz. Fritz in the net. The streak ends. Zverev finally gets that guy. His boogeyman. His sleep paralysis demon. And Fritz having a laugh. He's like, oh, you fucking got me. You got me. Sucks for Fritz, though. His knee was bothering him. Hopefully it's nothing serious. And he can recover well for the American hard courts. But Zverev is into the semis of Wimbledon. And he's going to take on the wild card. He doesn't know that. Or maybe he does. Because they do show the scores at the end of change of ends. So maybe he does know that Cobolli lost. They literally are going to do an interview at the same time. They're going to talk at the exact same time about their next opponents, which have just happened. Again, chat, this is weird as hell. I did not expect these matches to finish at almost the exact same time. We didn't even get a 5-setter. Robbed. Rigged. Where's my 5-setter? We had one last night against Djokovic, all right? Well, Djokovic gave us our 5-setter, all right? We gotta be happy with that, all right? Robbed. I want a 5-setter. I didn't stay up all night for straight sets. All right, we're gonna merge the streams. We're gonna keep hanging out though, so make sure you join us over here if you want to keep watching. We're just gonna chill out on the Zverev match and talk about what the heck is gonna happen in the semis. But lovely win by Fery. Takes out Cobolli in straight, 6-4, 7-6-6. Love. I don't know what number British man is into the semis of Wimbledon, but he joins Henman, he joins all those Murray, everybody, all those British players that have ever made the semis, which I don't think there's that many in the Open era, but he's one of them, and he's going to play Zverev.